Hey everybody, welcome to another Magic unboxing. Today we have an entire box of Phyrexia. All will be one collector boosters to open, so we'll get started with that here in just a minute. I do have a couple other things to talk about, and I'll show you those as soon as we get started here. But I thank you for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, and we'll build the channel up and do some giveaways here in the next few weeks. Just got done with some videos on a some giveaways on a previous video. So, you can go back and check that out. It's on the Bambox, the big sale video that had a ton of stuff to look through, and I gave away a couple prints and a pin. So shipping those out shortly. So for the winners of those. So please leave some comments. Let me know what you think about what we pull from the box. And I do have a couple other boxes that will be doing some pack breaks eventually here, where you guys can buy in on a pack, and then whatever comes out of the pack, you'll get that. So cool stuff to look forward to in the future. All right. So one thing I wanted to talk about really quickly was about the pre-release, and so one of the things. These are the pre-release boxes, and there was a wraparound that came with them. With the pre-release boxes, every box had 6 booster packs, and then it had a promo inside of it. And my daughter and I went to 2 of the pre-releases. We got a couple cool promos, but each pack then, of course, has also a die in it. And I got these 2 different colored die. I think she got a red one, and then one in every 15 promo packs or packs had a special Phyrexian die. So you can see it's 20-sided, but it has the Phyrexian numbers on it. And it's very, very cool. So these are going for a bit, 30 to 50 around that area right now. It's kind of funny. But yeah, her first pack she opened, she pulled the Phyrexian die. So we only saw 2 of those, the one she got and then the one yesterday morning when we did the second. So it was out of 30, well, out of really it's like 60 boosters or 60 packs that got opened, we only saw one or 2 of those. So it was pretty neat. It was a neat pull. So I will show you. I did open one collector booster yesterday. I'll show you those. Oh, well, a couple, but there was some neat cards. So you can see the oil foils with the symbols in them. So those are neat. I didn't get great oil pulls, but they were pretty cool. And the tokens, the foil and the tokens were really nice. I did get an oily Tyvar of the variant, the Phyrexian variant. So I know the foil's hard to see on these, but it is very neat. I got Rhea Ivor, Bane of Bladehold, 2 white and a black, and she's a 3/4. She has Battle Cry. At the beginning of combat on your turn, the next time target creature would deal combat damage to one or more players this combat, prevent that damage. If damage is prevented this way, create that many 1/1 colorless Phyrexian Might tokens. So that's a pretty neat rare. It's kind of like uh, the shield. I can't remember the name of it, the white one from Brothers War, but it's kind of like that. And I got the full art Norn Wellspring foil. We saw that before. And then even just the uncommons and the rares, or the uncommons, were pretty cool. So I did get a couple other rares in the pack. I got Evolved Spinoderm foil. I got Urtet, Remnant of Memnarch, and he's 3 colorless for a 2/2 legendary artifact creature. He's a mirror. Whenever you cast a mirror spell, create a 1/1 mirror token, which is cool. At the beginning of combat on your turn, untap each mirror you control, and then for 1 of each color and tap, put 3 +1/+1 counters on each mirror you control. That's really, really neat. He's very powerful. Would make a cool commander. And the Seed Core full art. It's pretty neat. And yeah, just commons and uncommons that we saw before, but the foils are just beautiful. They did a great job, again, with the foils on these. So I'll go ahead and put these out. Full art rares, commander cards, the foil rares, full art foil rares. We'll put commanders over here. So foil full art, yeah, all those. And then rare um, of the Phyrexian version. Sorry, I was like lost my mind there for a minute. And then foil, the oil foil rares, which were very cool. Our tokens can have a little pile up there. Other foil oils, and then all the rest of the stuff can just go over here in a stack. All right. Well, this is the main event. This is what you all want to see, right? We're going to open up this pack of Phyrexia All Will Be One collector boosters and just see what kind of goodies are in a box. I saw one person open a box. There was some really neat stuff in here. We're obviously looking for, an oil foil Elish Norn. Would be great to get the Phyrexian version of that. But, whatever we get will be cool. So, boxes are pretty heavy. Nice foil on the boxes, text on the back. Complete your collection with the finest cards the Phyrexians have at their command. Each booster contains borderless cards, special lands, Ichor showcase cards, and new step and complete foils. Glory to the Mother of Machines, glory to Elish Norn, glory to Phyrexia. So they have the Ichor showcase cards. I guess those are the ones. I thought I was saying oil, but it's Ichor. Um, and then the regular showcase cards, as well as the special lands and borderless cards. So very cool stuff. All right. So we do get 12 booster packs in each box. And we'll set these, just stack them up and set them up here at the top and grab the first one. I do like the packaging on these a little lighter than some of the other boosters, the other collector boosters. They're still tough to tear into, and they do have a tab. I guess we'll just use the tab, whatever. They do have a tab, a pull tab, so that does make them a little easier to get into. Phyrexian Might token. Oh, we start right off with the commander card. Vishgraz the Doom Hive. 2, a black, a green, and a white. 3/3 Menace and Toxic 1. He's a Phyrexian insect. When Vishgraz the Doom Hive enters the battlefield, create 3/1/1 mites. And then Vishgraz gets +1/+1 for each poison counter your opponent has. Wow. Our opponents have, so that's very neat. So that's a mythic. So we have a commander rare, we have a commander mythic. Here we'll just scoot them down that way. How about that? How about that? All right, Black Cleave Cliffs. This is the black-red dual land from this set. Nice foil, or nice full art on that. Put that up there with the seed core. Bone Picker Scourge is our Ichor. Oh, I got another Athari. Wow, that's like second one. So Athari, Sun's Glory, we pulled yesterday. This is the full art version. So another commander card. Oh, and another commander mythic. So we got two mythic commanders, two mythic borderless commanders out of this set. Green Sun's Twilight. This is the not the alternate art which we got yesterday in our pull. So this I'll show you this one. If you didn't get to watch yesterday's video, this is the one from the box. Can buy a box promo, and then this is the full art version. So very cool. I like that they do different artwork for the buy a boxes are neat. But yeah, Green Sun's Twilight's an awesome card. This is the one you spend X, and then you reveal the top X cards and choose a creature, put it in your hand. If you spent 5 or more, put it into play. It's very cool. So that another full art rare. Mercurial Spelldancer, very nice rare to add to our collection. Beautiful foil Phyrexian Island. And then Porcelain Zealot, Plated Onslaught, Thirsting Roots, and Duelist of Deep Faith. All right, some cool stuff in the first pack. 2 mythic commanders right off the bat, so maybe that's indicative of how this box will go. Here we'll get like a regular Elish Norn and a foil Elish Norn in the same pack. Dragonwing Glider, full art foil. Jor Kadeen, first Gold Warden. This is the alternate artwork. We saw this yesterday. 2/2 Trampler for 2. When he attacks, he gets +X+X, where X is the number of equipped creatures you control. Then if his power is 4 or greater, you get to draw a card. So that's cool. We got Urbrask's Anointer for our Icker card. Icker. A couple of those. Might Overseer. 3 and a white for a 4/2 first striker. As long as it's your turn, creature tokens you control get +1/+0 and have first strike. And then for 3 and 2 life, you can create a 1/1 colorless Phyrexian Might token. It's white or 2 life, I guess, right? Right. All right, so that's another foil rare, another full art rare. Mind Splice Apparatus, rare, 3 and a blue. Flash at the beginning of your upkeep, put an oil counter on it. Instant and sorcery spells you cast cost 1 less to cast for each oil counter on Mind Splice Apparatus. So that could be pretty powerful. You play that with the one land. I can't remember the name of it. We looked at it yesterday. The land that you tap for colorless, but you can also it comes into play with 2 oil counters, and then you tap it to move an oil counter, remove one from it, and put it on something else. So that would be a neat card. Filigree Silex. I don't know how many of these I need, but I have 2 foils and a rare now, and 2 foils and a regular now. So it's a cool card, but not really needing all those copies of it. Swamp, Voidwing Hybrid foil, Swooping Lookout, Dross Pit, Shoulder's Head Cleaver, Molten Rebuke, and Glistener Seer. I do like the lands, though. They are pretty snifty. Yeah, so far I like this set because it does a lot of the things I like to do, which is be sneaky and mean and all that. Tangleweave Armor, 2 and 2 green. It's a commander card, or commander only. Living Weapon, equipped creature gets +X+X, where X is the greatest mana value among your commanders, and you can equip it for 4. So that's a foil commander rare. Well, whatever. We'll put it in the commander stack. Skrelv, Defector Might. This guy's kind of interesting. So he's 1 white for 1/1, Toxic 1, and he can't block. And then for 2 life or 2 white, or 2 life or 1 white, you can tap him, choose a color, and another creature that you control gains Toxic 1 and Hexproof from that color until end of turn. It can't be blocked by creatures of that color this turn. So it's kind of like it gains protection from the color, but they're not saying protection. So that's interesting. And that is a full art Phyrexia. That's a Phyrexia. There's another Obliterator, Mythic, oil or Ichor version. So the Obliterator is awesome. 4 black for a 5/5 trampler. When it gets damage dealt to, when a source deals damage to it, the source's controller sacrifices that many permanents. So definitely a deterrent to blocking, or attacking, or doing direct damage to it, or pretty much anything. Mere Converts, Necrogen Rot Priest, Serum Sovereign. I think we've seen this before, but this is a cool full art. 5 mana, 4/4 flying. When you cast a non-creature spell, put an oil counter on it, remove an oil counter, and pay a blue, and draw a card, then scry 2. And Zenith Chronicler, full art. So we saw that too yesterday. All right, a couple nice rares. There's Vindictive Flamestoker. 1 red, 1/2. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, put an oil counter on it. Pay 6 and a red, sacrifice it, discard your hand, and draw 4 cards. This ability costs 1 less to activate for each oil counter on Vindictive Flamestoker. Nice. Nice mountain. And Escaped Experiment. All right. We are on to the next pack. We're on pack number 3. So far, pretty decent. We got a nice mythic Ichor card. We got a couple mythic commander cards. We didn't get any regular mythic cards yet, but still pretty neat. Glissa Sunslayer, compared to Glissa Sunseeker, right? Was the older one. One, a black and a green for a 3/3. First strike, death touch. Whenever she deals combat damage to a player, you can choose one. Draw a card and lose life, destroy target enchantment, or remove up to 3 counters from target permanent. Nice foil. All right, that's a foil. Phyrexian, we'll put it there. Kethic, Crucible Goliath. 2 colorless, a black and a red for a 4/4. At the beginning of your end step, you may sacrifice another creature. If you do, reveal cards from the top of your library to reveal a non-legendary creature card with lesser mana value. Put it on the battlefield and put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. That's pretty interesting. Oh, that was the Phyrexian. See, I got them all messed up already. Another Sinew Dancer. I think I already have Sinew Dancer. Huh. Okay. What a waste of an Ichor. Couple more. Lux Artillery, another commander card. 4 colorless. Whenever you cast an artifact creature spell, it gains Sunburst. At the beginning of your end step, if there are 30 or more counters among artifacts and creatures you control, Lux Artillery deals 10 damage to each opponent. I don't know what Sunburst is, so that's interesting. All right, so I'm looking up Sunburst just so we can tell you what it is. So Sunburst, according to the official rules, says a keyword ability that can have a permanent enter the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter or charge counters on it. So it says Sunburst is a static ability that functions as an object is entering the battlefield. Sunburst means if this object is entering the battlefield as a creature, ignoring any type changing effects that would affect it, and enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it for each color of mana spent to cast it. Otherwise, it enters a battlefield with a charge counter on it for each color of mana spent to cast it. All right, so Sunburst is cool, multicolored artifacts and enchantments and creatures. So Lux Artillery gives any artifact or creature spell Sunburst. So for the number of mana, the number of types of mana, it gets additional +1/+1 counters or charge counters on it. Pretty neat. And then basically, with all the counters, it deals 10 damage to opponent. Very cool. So that could be an interesting way to wipe out an opponent in Commander. All right. Bloated Contaminator, full art. We saw this one. This was one of my favorite ones to play yesterday in the pre-release. I actually used this along with Blue Sun's Twilight to take control of my opponents, and so I had 2, and I spent the 5, so I got a copy. The Blue Sun's Twilight lets you spend X, and if X is over 5, then you make a copy of the creature you're taking control. So that was really neat. All right. Oh, Tyvar foil. Tyvar's fun. One a blue or one a black and a red or one. Yeah, I cannot see colors today. One a black and a green for a 3 loyalty planeswalker. You can activate abilities of creatures you control as though creatures had haste, so that's really nice. You spend 1 or put 1 on him, untap up to 1 target creature, take 2 off, mill 3 cards, and then you may return a creature card with mana value 2 or less from the graveyard to the battlefield. So he's really nice in a weenie type deck. Could be really fun. All right, Swamp, Tyvar's Stand, Tamiya's Logbook, Hunter Maze, blah, blah. All right. I mean, it's cool to get foil versions of some of these cards if you're making a deck and using the commons and uncommons. You can swap out for the foils. The foils are beautiful, Hey, look at that. That is a mythic, very cool mythic Phyrexian version of a card that I don't know what it is. So it's very cool. All right. Awesome. All righty. So I took a second off camera to look it up, and we are looking at Nissa, Ascended Animist. 3 colorless, 2 green, and then 2 more green. So 4 green or 2 green and 4 life. So if she comes in completed, you pay 2 life instead, or Then she gets two fewer loyalty counters. So she comes in with 7 normally. You can add 1 to create an XX green Phyrexian horror creature token, where X is Nissa Ascended Animist loyalty. You can take 1 off to destroy target artifact or enchantment. Very nice. And you take 7 off, and until end of turn, creatures you control get +1/+1 for each forest you control, and they gain trample. So really, if you pay the full amount, the 7, boom, you pop her right away, and all your creatures get +1/+1 for each forest and trample. It's pretty much a game ender at that point. Now it's beautiful that we got the foil mythic Phyrexian version of her. That is amazing. I don't know what value is on this card, but I'm sure there is. I'm sure they're out there, and people would be able to tell you. So, yeah, very cool stuff. So I like that. I love the foils, and I love the Phyrexian version. So those are cool. All right, so that's a special one. We'll put her down here. I'm guessing probably $25 to $30 in that range. Hey, we got another mythic. This is the mythic. This is the massive mythic card right here. Mondrak, Glory Dominus, 2 and 2 white for a 4/4. If 1 or more tokens would be created under your control, twice that many of these tokens are created instead. He is the anointed procession of this series. The only thing is he's a creature instead of an enchantment, so you just get to double. I think that was what it's called, anointed procession, that lets you double the number of counters or tokens that come into play. So for 1 and 2 white or 1 and 4 life, you can sack 2 other artifacts and or creatures and put an indestructible counter on him. So very nice, but beautiful mythic. I wish it would have been an Acre Slick foil, but still, to get that guy, that was pretty cool. So we'll go ahead and we don't have a mythic pile yet. I don't think we've seen any mythics. We'll put him right here. Yeah, I know that his regular version was selling for about $45. My daughter got his promo version, the promo foil, which was like $100, and so I don't know what his version, his Phyrexian version, is going to go for. Another Ichor, and this is a rare Ichor. Very cool. Venser, Corpse Puppet. 1 blue, 1 black, 1/3. So this is Venser. You know, he was one of the major guys, the major wizards back in the day. So he's lifelink and toxic 1. Whenever you proliferate, choose 1. If you don't control a creature named the Hollow Sentinel, create the Hollow Sentinel, a legendary 3/3 colors Phyrexian Golem artifact creature token. Or target artifact creature you control gains flying and lifelink until end of turn. That's pretty neat for two mana. That's pretty tough. So that is a cool. I'll put him here with our other rare Tyvar. All right, Sawblade Scamp, Blight Belly Rat, Roar of Resistance, another commander card. 1 and a red enchantment. Creature tokens you control have haste. And play him with Mondrak there. Whenever 1 or more creatures attack, you may pay 1 and a red. If you do, creatures attacking your opponents and or planeswalkers they control get +2/+0 until end of turn. Nice. Oh, see now I'm just throwing stuff all over the place. We got Miran's Safe House. Miran's Safe House. 3 colorless artifact. As long as Miran's Safe House is on the battlefield, it has all activated abilities of all land cards in all graveyards. Huh. Very interesting. Seed Core, regular foil version. Foil Island again. Incubation Sac. Maze, Skull Bomb, Bone Picker Scourge. Prologue to Phyresis. This is only the second one of these we've seen out of a box and a few packs already of a collector's edition, so it's a foil. Very cool. I don't know why we only got one of those commons out of the packs last night. Opening for the box, the Phyrexian regular box of set boosters. So yeah, definitely check that video out. Let me know what you think about that box. There was some really good stuff in it. This has been awesome so far. Really, we're not even halfway through this box, so very cool and amazingly full art foil Blue Sun's Twilight. Love this card. It's so much fun. I'm making a blue deck and I'm taking control of everything that everybody controls. I love this card. All right. Miglaw's Maze Crusher. We've seen him before. I think, in fact, we have a Phyrexian version of him already. Bladed Ambassador is our Foily Oil Ichor card. Soldier and Mere Convert. Glistening Sphere is our commander card from this pack. 3 colorless. Glistening Sphere enters a battlefield tapped. When it enters a battlefield, proliferate. Tap to add 1 mana of any color. If your opponent has 3 or more poison counters, add 3 mana of any one color. That's pretty nifty. Not only do you get to proliferate, which means you give your opponent more poison counters, but you can tap it for 3 mana. That's like a Lotus Blossom, or no, that's like a, oh geez. I mean, if you could play with some affinity, that's like a Black Lotus. It's pretty cool. Blade of Shared Souls. This was one of the promos. I know. I played against it, and it was pretty nasty, actually. 2 and a blue for Mirrodin. That means it makes a little 2/2 rebel, red rebel. Whenever Blade of Shared Souls becomes attached to a creature, for as long as Blade of Shared Souls remains attached to it, you may have that creature become a copy of another target creature you control and equip for 2. So, yeah, if you've got a beefy creature on the field, and you play this for 3, you get a 2/2 little dork, right? And then you can copy that other beefy creature. So it's really a pretty nasty card. And we got a full art version of that. Unctus Grand Metatext. I think this is the 3rd one we have. This is the first foil that we have. It's pretty neat. Foil Forest. Hex Gold. Look at you can see how the foil is on the wings. That's just so neat. And the foil on the Battle Fist. Yeah, they definitely did a good job on the foils. The foils in the last couple boxes of collector boosters have just been amazing. They definitely want me to buy more. Right? We'll keep making them amazing if you keep buying them. Hey, another full art Green Sun's Twilight. This one's a foil. Glissa Sunslayer again. Sinew Dancer again. What in the world? Canker Blossom, Furnace Punisher, Monumental Corruption. 3 and 2 black. Target player draws X cards and loses X life, where X is the number of artifacts you control. That could be very interesting. Black, Shouldered, and a whole bunch of little might tokens, right? Game's over. Mercurial Spelldancer full art. Very nice. Venser, Corpse Puppet. Here's the regular version, although it is a nice little... It's kind of a dull foil, but that's interesting. Foil Island, Spiral Spawning, and some other fun cards. Anoint with Affliction. You guys know how hard it is to keep talking about stuff the whole time I'm opening packs? Vran, Executioner Thane. 1 and a black for a 2/2. Whenever 1 or more other creatures you control die, each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. This ability triggers only once each turn. It's pretty cool as a foil. Oh, hey, we got the special Kaido. Full art. The Phyrexian artwork. It's very nice. So I know we looked at Kaido yesterday. We'll look at him again. Another other good planeswalkers. Whenever 1 or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, you can return them to your hand or the owner's hand. If you do, you can activate Kaido's loyal abilities twice this turn rather than only once. So that means you can make 2 creatures not be able to attack until your next turn, or you can draw 2 cards, or you can take 4 counters off and make 2 colorless drone artifact creature tokens with Death Touch and blah, 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 right? It's pretty nasty. So he kind of corrupts the ninjutsu ability, which is very neat. Hey, we got a foil full art Koth, Fire of Resistance. And this is an Ichor version. 2 and 2 red, 4 legendary planeswalker Koth. And we've looked at these before. He's the one lets you drow mountains, play mountains, do damage with mountains, and then every time a mountain comes into play, your opponent can take 4 damage to the face for a mountain. Urbrask's Anointer, Sinew Dancer again, Kemba's Banner is our commander card. 3 and a white. For Mirrodin, equipped creature gets +1/+1 for each creature you control. That's pretty decent. And you can equip it for 2 and a 1 white. But for 3 and a white, you get a 2/2 creature that gets +1/+1 for each creature you control. So right off the bat, it's going to get +1/+1, even if you just have that. That's decent. Full art Black Sun's Twilight. I like this one too. Black and an X, and up to 1 target creature gets -X/-X until end of turn. If X is 5 or more, you return a creature card with mana value X or less from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. So I did get this one as my promo Friday for the pre-release. It was pretty cool. All right, so that is a full art regular. Hey, we got the Seachrome Coast foil. Foil Mountain, Mirror Convert, and that Prophetic Prism is really neat. The way the foil is on the light coming out of it, that's pretty cool. All right, so we got a lot of good ones so far, and we have 4 packs left to go. Let's see. Come on, Ellis Norn. I mean, we got a couple good ones. We definitely got a nice foil there. Hey, we got a full art foil Dark Slick Shores. That's a blue-black one. There's Jin Gitaxis, something Tyrant, Progenitor Tyrant, or Progenitor Tyrant. 5 colorless, 2 blue, 5/5. Whenever you cast an artifact, instant, or sorcery spell, copy that spell. You may choose new targets for the copy. It triggers once a turn. And whenever an opponent casts an artifact, instant, or sorcery spell, counter that spell. So this is Jin Gitaxis, basically the reprint from um, a couple sets ago. It was like the preview of what was to come. So he's definitely a game ender when it comes to blue, because it does stop your opponent from being able to cast spells. You got to cast one, have it fail, and then cast another one, which really slows a lot of games down. But that's a beautiful full art Phyrexian version of that creature as well. So Mere Convert as our Oil Slick, Blight Belly Rat in duplicate. Synthesis Pod is our commander card. 3 colorless and blue, I guess, or 2 life. So I think it's supposed to be blue. So you can pay 3 and a blue, 4 total, or 3 and 2 life. And then for 1 and a blue or 1 and 2 life, you can tap it to exile a spell you control. Target opponent reveals cards from the top of their library until they reveal a card with mana value equal to 1 plus the exiled spell's mana value. Exile that card, then that player shuffles. You may cast that exiled card without paying its mana cost. That's interesting. So if you know what they're playing, you can kind of um, play their deck in a way. So that's an interesting card. Another Silex. Oh my gosh. That's full art. Encroaching Mycosynth. This is kind of a neat rare. 3 and a blue. Non-land permanents you control are artifacts in addition to other types. The same is true for permanent spells you control and non-land permanent cards you own that aren't on the battlefield. So this is one that beefs up that black card we just saw, the Monument Corruption, that lets all your artifacts, pump in to make them draw more cards and lose more life. Forest. All right. Oh, I always worry I'm missing a rare at the end. You get used to opening packs where the last card of the pack is the rare, and you're like, hey, I missed one, but you didn't. Oh, bad at Cling. All right, our rare is Vindictive Flamestoker, full art rare. Venser, Corpse Puppet. Izuri, Stalker of Spheres is our Icker card. 2 and a blue and a green. 3/3. When it enters the battlefield, you may pay 3 if you do proliferate twice, and whenever you proliferate, draw a card. A couple of those. Might Overseer again, full art. Encroaching Mycosynth, full art. Mirren Safehouse foil, Island. Charforger, and all the goodies that we've seen so far. 2 packs left. Let's see how these packs wrap up. This has been a good box. I'm tempted to buy one more box, maybe. We'll see. Monument to Perfection, foil rare. Geth, Thane of Contracts. 1 and 2 black. This is a 3/4. Other creatures you control get -1/-1. For 1 and 2 black, you can tap it and return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. It gains if each creature would leave the battlefield, exile it instead of putting it anywhere else, and activate only as a sorcery. Interesting. Quicksilver Fisher, Bladed Ambassador, and Sinew Dancer. Serum Sovereign, full art. Phyrexian Arena, full art. It's nice. Black Sun's Twilight, foil rare. All right. On to the last of the packs. The pack which is last. The one which becomes opened after all others. I should have titled this video Phyrexia All Will Be Opened. There we go. Monumental Facade, foil rare, full art. Nice. Extended art. Graz, Unstoppable Juggernaut. 8 mana, 7/5. Juggernaut you control attack each combat if able. Juggernaut you control can't be blocked by walls. Other creatures you control have base power and toughness 5/3 and are juggernauts in addition to their other creature types. Now, if you play this in a deck with some affinity and green for ramp, and you play that other, you play Nissa, so you play him, make all your little might tokens, make them all 5/3s, play Nissa, pop her for 7. They all become +X for the number of forests you control, and they have trample, and you've just done 4,000 damage to your opponent in one turn. That'd be amazing, right? All right. Sawblade Scamp is our Ichor. Pretty disappointing there. Norn's Decree is our commander card. 2 and a white. An enchantment. Whenever one or more creatures an opponent controls deal combat damage to you, that opponent gets a poison counter. Whenever a player attacks, if one or more players being attacked are poisoned, the attacking player draws a card. So, you're giving your opponent the benefit of... Oh, no, you're not. You're giving yourself, basically, and anybody else, the benefit of drawing a card if they attack a player who has poison counters. But you're also deterring them from attacking you because that means that they will get poison counters. So, yeah, that's an interesting card for Commander. Extended art regular, non-foil. So we got the foil and the regular out of the same pack. And we got a nice Kaito foil regular version. Pretty neat. Mountain, blah. Nope, nothing else great. All right, well, we got some good stuff out of this. We got the Nissa. We got the Phyrexian Obliterator oil or slick card, the Ichor card. We got some nice other Ichor rares. Venser, Tyvar, Koth, and Azuri. We got Mondrak, the Mythic. Really, not a lot of Mythics. We got 3 out of here. Everything else was a rare, so it was not a lot of Mythic cards. We got the 2 Mythic Commanders, and everything else was a rare. So out of 12 packs, that's pretty light on the Mythics. But you know what? They're good. Maybe that means their value will be high if there's not a ton of Mythics in the set. So let me know what you think. Please like, share, subscribe, leave me some comments, and I appreciate all the time you take to watch the video. And I love to talk about Magic, so if you want to leave a comment, I'll definitely reply. And I look forward to showing off more stuff in the future. Thanks for watching. Talk to you soon.